So I keep thinking of different ways to make the roof system up here. But I keep coming back to the same thing. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just making a really simple, like maybe 4 posts along the length, and then, you know, a bunch of those, and a bunch of those, and posts down the other side, and then a few, just really simple, and use like big fat pieces like these things. Which at first I was thinking, man, this is kind of overkill using these. But then I was thinking, you know, what am I making, a construction boat or like a Smurf party boat? So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go with those big fat pieces because they're thick enough that they're really rigid, so I won't need to do a lot of, you know, X's and A-frames and stuff like that to make the whole thing super solid. And those will stand up to like everything. I know, like if a meteorite hit my boat, it would explode, but you know, any stuff I'm gonna do to it, they'll be able to handle it. And I'll be able to handle lifting really heavy loads from the roof. Man, there's gonna be a lot of those pieces. I guess I better get started. Okay, here's my mold, and that's my mold. And you know, I could cut this a little thinner and just make them a little smaller, but I might as well just make them the whole super strong things. Alright, first I'm going to make a couple of these things. And this is like looking straight from the back or from the front. And I want these to be all one big solid piece, because I'll have a lot of weight pulling down from up here whenever I lift something with a hoist. So if that's all one solid chunk, it should hold a lot of weight. Well, I'll have to make it in pieces, but... Okay, how long are these things? These are 1.20 meters from here right up to the corner. And then this all the way across is 10 feet at the widest, but I'm going to put this on a skinnier part in the boat. One in the front and one in the back first. Oh, I guess I better go measure that. Alright, now I'm getting serious. For one of these, I've got... Oops. Best angle there. Okay. 8 feet 4 inches from there to there. And I want the height to be... Oh, what is the height? Probably 7 feet. But I think I want a bit of extra headroom so I'm not hitting my head all the time. Nah, 7 feet will be good. So that makes half the height, half the width, 4 feet 2 inches. Well, that's not very long. But I need to find the hypotenuse, the length here. I've got the width, and the height is half the width. I know that just because it's a 30-degree angle. Let me just measure it. I'm not going to bother calculating. Alright, 2'1" there, 4 feet 2 here. Now where's my line? Pencil does not show up well on stainless steel. 4 feet, 4'8". Yeah. 4'8" for those. Alright, 4'8", which is 142 centimeters. Then if I make these 5 feet tall, that gives me an extra inch of height, which will be nice. That'll take care of the thickness of the floorboards. Alright, hey, get back here, I need that. So I guess just start making 5 foot long ones and 4'8" long ones. Alright, waxed and ready to go. Time to cut some fiberglass. Okay, that one looks good. I'm going to be doing these all week. Maybe while that's curing though, I'll cut some boards for in there. Sun's out, lots of electricity, I can pull the chainsaw out. Looks pretty good. And I have another one in the oven there. And I managed to cut a couple boards. I got distracted by the guys coming over and we went for a boat ride. But anyway, I got a couple cut. There's a log I'm working on. These things take a while to make because I really need to wait for it to harden completely in the mold before I pull it off. Or else I end up with like little bits of residue on the mold and it keeps building up and just kind of makes a big mess in there. But if I wait long enough, the piece comes out clean. Yeah, not a bad fit. I could clean up the edges a little bit, but it's fine for now. I'll probably just make a whole bunch of those and do the floors with those at first. And then later I can think about making real nice fiberglass panels that fit in. I saw the wood a local guy cut the other day, and he has inspired me to improve my skill. I do have another kind of interesting thing going on right now, which is this. These are cacao beans. You know, they make chocolate. And basically, you get cacao pods off a tree, crack that open with a machete or a knife or whatever, and these seed bean things come out. And you put them in a bag and hang them up somewhere for like a week. And they get gross and moldy and they ferment basically. And then at the end of a week, it's like a week to 10 days, you take them out of the bag and they'll have mold and be gross, like look at this. Ugh. But then you leave them out in the sun for a while. There's a much nicer looking one. But when they're completely dried out, then you can pop this shell off and grind up the stuff inside. And then you get chocolate liqueur. If you grind it up fine enough anyway. And then, you know, you can mix it with sugar or milk like normal people. Or you can just be like me and just use it as it is. Actually, I want to try mixing some of the chocolate liqueur with cocoa butter, like from a coconut, and sugar. Yeah, cane sugar from a sugar cane. I have some over there. It's not tall enough to cut yet, but I can borrow some sugar cane from someone around. I have done a few chocolate experiments in the past, and I think the cocoa butter and cane sugar will work really well. Although I don't even know if you'd need the sugar. Anyway, I'll probably at some point in the future make a whole video about that whole process. But I just thought I'd show you what was going on. Oh, I also have watermelons. They blend in. I'm very excited about these. Oh. And man, this patch just popped up, I don't know, a couple months ago and just started taking over this whole area. And there was this one huge watermelon that just popped out one day. And eventually we cut it, but we cut it slightly too early. And here it is. It was like just starting to turn pink and not quite good yet. Oh man. But it's probably a good thing that I did that on the first watermelon, because now I'll remember that like pretty much forever. And supposedly I'm supposed to wait until the stem gets brown and the watermelon basically drops off the plant, or like separates it, or the plant kicks it off. Then it's ready. I hope. We'll see how the next one goes. I did eat a little bit of that pinkish one. It's actually pinker now than it was when we just cut it. It was a lot whiter. It wasn't bad, but man, totally disappointing. Oh.